Living Will, an appointment of healthcare agent. That's what this show is about. I, William A. Regan Jr. of Connecticut, being of sound mind and body, make this statement after careful reflection as a testament of my wishes and as a directive to be followed if the time comes when I am anticipated to the point where I can no longer actively take part in decisions for my own life and am unable to direct my physician as to my own medical care. This directive is a testament of my wishes for death with dignity and for the appointment of a health care agent. Well, you know what? He went kicking and screaming for years, my brother Wayne. Melanie does her own thing. Billy really is not his thing. But Wayne's in the healthcare field, and I happen to be in the healthcare insurance field. So he felt that I was close. Go ahead, Dad. Let me just have you explain the scenario.
You were close by. I mean, if something, really emergency existed, the other kids are all out of state. You didn't tell everybody, but they're out of state and they couldn't get here in a hurry, or you could, and you have actually in the past. Last October when I had to have my shin lanced, when I had that cellulitis infection in the calf muscle of my left leg, it was just almost like ready to pop.
Okay, so tell the scenario. That's what the one we're going to talk about.
I had to go up into Dempsey Hospital where I work part-time up at the Yukon Med School, so I was there, and it just, somebody had to be there to sign for me because this resident, female orthopedic resident, very pleasant young lady.
And a sexy one to boot, though, huh?
Well, we won't go down that road.
Oh, so not for nothing, but my dad goes, "Oh, I love redheads. Jerry was a redhead." I'm like, "Dad, what's going on? Stop flirting with the girl you're about."
She didn't know what I meant when I said I have a thing for redheads.
No, I know.
She thought I was a dirty old man.
It couldn't have been cuter. It couldn't have been cuter. So she looks at me deadpan after she told me she was an Olympic skier and I skied for the junior Olympic team. So anyway, we're bantering back and forth. She looks at me serious as can be and says, "Do you have power of attorney on your dad?" And I said, "Why, yes, I do. Do you need a copy?" "Well, we're not sure how this is going to turn out." And I'm thinking, all of a sudden starts sweating.
Fine, but
all of a sudden starts sweating. I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, if it's gangrenous, he might lose his leg." I'm like, I am not ready for this. I am not ready for this. So anyway,
it didn't turn out that way.
She slices a nice 4-inch gash into this gentleman's leg after only like 30 seconds of lidocaine. He's not even looking away. She's like, "You need any painkillers?" She's like, "I don't know, just maybe a local." So she hits the leg, boom, 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 with a needle like 10 times. And he's gripping his fist like you can't believe. He's like, "Ah!" So she says to me, "Do you have power of attorney?" This is important. If you're not doing this with your loved ones, you have no idea how scared you're going to be when the reason the first case scenario on, I don't know if you listened, Dad, but I had a client literally have his wife's insurance canceled by a clerical person. Nobody's looking out for the poor 86-year-old guy. I can say it now because he's off the airways. But God forbid, you are such an important person in my life. We had to do this. We had to do this, this scenario. So we went to Jesse Camille's. We had a beer. We drew it up. And he feels comfortable that there's someone in the area that is able to do this. Go ahead.
Plus, all of my children have a copy of my
Living Will.
Living Will, yeah. They all have a copy. I don't want any extraordinary means, but I want my organs donated. Those that are certainly going to be useful to somebody else, because after I pass, they're certainly not going to help me.
No, and not for nothing. You're
the organs are not going to help. So.
You're a very healthy man. Why not give it to someone in need?
Well, so that's the way I feel about it. So, other than my orthopedic issues, I'm in fairly decent health.
Very good.
Anyhow, I think he's certainly, along with your power of attorney, ought to have your children have a copy of your living will, so they know what you want to do. I don't want any extraordinary means. For instance, my own brother, who's 11 years younger than I am, has been on a respirator for about 10 months now, and that's hardly a way to live. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? I do not want artificial nutrition and hydration. I do not want artificial respiration. I do not want cardiopulmonary resurrection. So he clearly states it here, word for word, what his needs are. When we met with the attorney, he gave us a day to take it home and write some stuff down. And then we met and explained to my listeners, Dad, excuse me, Bill, it's really not that expensive, right? It's in budget. It's not a budget buster.
You can even do it online if you want to do, say, for coin. Type in Living Will on Google, and I think a form will come up, and you can put in your own wishes in there.
Right.
So just have somebody sign it, of course.
But
and somebody to notarize it so that it doesn't become a phony thing for somebody.
But what's the takeaway here? You have to do it.
The takeaway, I think it's only fair to your family, is that they should know what you want done with yourself after you've been seriously ill or in a severe accident or whatever. But it's only fair to your family. I mean, we won't know when we go what's happened, but certainly your family will know. And I think it's certainly unfair to them if you don't do it.
You could not have stated it
abide by your
better.
wishes, and you have to tell them what your wishes are.
Right.
I feel very, very strongly about that. In the instance, my own wife, she was, 7 years ago this May,
Yep.
ill, and I knew what she wanted. And when she went up to the ICU, the nurse said to me, "She's not going to make it. What do you want us to do?" And I said to her, "Just make sure she's comfortable."
Correct.
Which is what we did.
Correct. So
we abided by her wishes too, see?
after you get off the phone, I'm going to talk about the fabulous LaRusso family who is giving me another billboard, and I'm going to take out, I don't know how, and I don't know why, that people like us, but I'm going to, on Jerry's birthday, have a beautiful billboard with her picture and just say thanks. So, Dad, I can't thank you enough. I love you. You are a great role model. When you were hard on me and made me struggle, it was because you knew that's how to make a man. I can't thank you enough. You've been a phenomenal friend, a great teacher, and I really appreciate you calling in. I know you don't like it. I know you don't even really listen to the show, but I did need a favor because I am not hitting home with my listeners. They're not doing this. Nobody's getting a living will and nobody's getting a power of attorney. Every time they come into the office to buy Medicare, they're like, oh, I'm going to put it off next year. It's going to be too late. So
it's always today. It's never tomorrow. It's always today, if you
Right.
remember that, you listeners.
Bill Regan, God bless you. I love you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael. Have a good day, everybody.
You too, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.